So you're telling me that even if I have a huge gap in my teeth, or if I have this skin thing that is hard to pronounce called vitiligo, or if I'm an amputee or a double amputee or a wheelchair user, or I have cerebral palsy or autism or Down syndrome, that I can make thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars from a single photo? That is correct. And I'm about to show you exactly how to do it. Here is our casting network breakdown. I'm going to show you how to get into the modeling world, get on camera, whether you have an agent or not. If you're brand new or if you've been at this for a while, I'm going to show you how to get into this and get after it. This, I'm so excited, especially to share for folks who have been living your life as if you have the biggest piece of kryptonite attached to your body for your uniqueness. This is the moment you get rid of that whole mindset. This is no longer your kryptonite. That chapter is closed. You're going to come with me. We're going to turn your mess into your message, and that kryptonite is going to be your superpower. So let's get to it. All right. If you aren't already in the school community, come join the Pose to Profit school community. It's at school.com/pose to profit. All the things you need to know to get started modeling or to keep growing in the modeling industry. Now, before we dive into this, if the speed at which I'm moving right now is way easy for you, save yourself some time and be efficient. Bump this rate up to 1.5x or 2x on the video. Let's get into it. Casting profiles, casting networks. This is the space where anybody who is trying to book talent, book a model for a photo shoot or even a video shoot. And the reason this is powerful is because some of the highest paying jobs I've ever worked, and I do both modeling and acting, but some of the highest paying jobs I've ever worked, I was literally just modeling. Even though I went through as like an acting thing through a casting site, they were looking for an actor for a thing. There was no words used, and it was literally just modeling, but in video rather than still photos. So if you think like, oh, I'm not really an actor, well, a lot of this stuff, and especially if you get into this based on you, based on your lifestyle, based on who you are, and quit trying to be somebody you're not and faking it and everything, unless you really want to get into the acting world, which that's a different journey, a different part of a conversation to have. Build your casting network profiles as you are, and you will find work. So we're going to get into that here. A couple different things. I'm going to use Casting Frontier. There's a bunch of different casting sites out there. Casting Frontier, Casting Networks is another one that I'm on and use. And basically, it's the place where anybody that wants to book somebody for a shoot, they can go in, plug in the criteria for whom they're looking for. So let's say you are a wheelchair user, and this just came across a couple days ago. We're looking for a wheelchair user. It's going to be for a car commercial, and we need a wheelchair user who's an athlete, right? An adaptive athlete, particularly with snow sports. They're going to plug in these filters so that anybody that fits that mold, either perfectly or kind of close or relatively close, they can choose who they want to send out that casting audition to, the opportunity to compete to get that shot, right? But I can't stress it enough. Anything you have going for you or what you thought was going against you, it is your story and you are a fit somewhere. You have work to be booked exactly as you are. And we're going to get into that with setting up the casting profile and seeing exactly how to go about doing this for yourself. So I'm going to pull up Casting Frontier here, and I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see kind of what it looks like. What does a casting profile look like? What does a casting network look like? Something that's, a legitimate place where you can find work. All right. So this is Casting Frontier. I have it pulled up. I'm logged in already, but as you can see, I am not on the paid version of this. In most of these sites, Casting Frontier, Casting Networks, wherever else, they have a free version. And this is what I mean when you can book things with a single photo. A photo you have in your phone or a photo you haven't yet taken, if you're about to go out or set up your photo shoots and start building your portfolio, whatever it is, a single photo is all you need. And you could do this for free. So you go on the casting site. I am not upgrading, right? But you see some benefits if you are. Now, if I were not represented by an agency, let's say, and I were if I were just starting out or I'd been kind of dabbling in this a while and I really want to ramp things up in the modeling world for me, if I didn't have representation from an agency, I would probably do a paid version of this because you see, you get some things. You get unlimited headshots, you get unlimited video clips, action clips, featured video reel, headshot, all of these different things that you can use to market yourself to casting directors, to people that are going to be booking talent. So if I didn't have agency representation, I would probably do a paid version, but a free version works totally fine. And I've used the free version my whole career and I've booked some wonderful jobs from it. So I'm going to go with no thanks. As you see with the option agency, my mother agent, they handle everything here. This is terrific. This is the homepage. So one headshot, that's it. These down here, sometimes I think you get one additional photo. They might run like some bonus, like, hey, add a photo now and you can get another one. Or you can upload a bunch of these, but you can only have one that's selected as the visible shot. So you can have options on here that you've uploaded, but you can only have one that's kind of live to the outside world, so to speak. So this is the homepage. You go through and you say, okay, yeah, let's see. I have a couple auditions in here already. My availability checks, 0, that's basically if somebody who's interested in booking and they want to know, am I available on the shoot dates for something, a project they have. Self-tape requests. I have 24 of those right now. This is what we're going to get into. We're going to go into edit profile. Now, my membership level, again, is basic. You can go with more features of uploading photo and video. You might see things down here, but this is your typical kind of comp card setup. If you were modeling back in the day, you would go in with paper printed out of sort of this information, like, you know, what are your stats, your height, your weight, etc., your sizes, your fit, everything like that. It's now digital, which is awesome. We're going to go into the edit profile section. This is where you do everything for yourself to be able to be booked on a job that whatever you look like, if you're so-called ugly, if you're, you know, whatever your kryptonite is, call it whatever you want. Everybody has something, and this is where you get to turn your mess into your message, because the thing that you think is like been holding you back, and maybe it does hold you back in some areas of life, this is somewhere where it can actually thrive. I know it's not commonly known, but we're going to go into this. So you go to edit profile, and you see some things here. My username, it's same as my Instagram. You plug in your contact info if you're in the union, right? The actors, SAG, Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA. Your biographical info. So these are going to be where I'm not going to get into this. We're going to go into there's a specific spot in here that I want to get into. So you just go and fill all this stuff out. You see social media new. You want to add your social media here too. Especially add your social media. This is in the free option for this casting site. You don't have to be paid to have your social media. So let's say you wanted to make this system work for you, market yourself as well as you possibly can, but do it for as cheap as you possibly can. You set up a free profile on here, get a decent headshot taken, or take a photo that looks like a good headshot of you. Make sure that your social media is connected on here. So if I go to social media, you see my Instagram is linked, right? But you can have your Twitter, your Facebook, and TikTok, and even IMDb, right? Connect your social, and that way you could do all of your own marketing from your social media. So whatever post you have pinned, maybe you have a demo reel that's pinned on your Instagram. So if they go and click it, oh, we like your headshot, let's find out more about you. That's how you can go about it, and a cheap way to market yourself still and be out there. Now you got your sizes, go plug that in, other, whatever. This is what I want to get into. All of this stuff you want to fill out, okay? Everything you see up here, your representation, if you have one, or if you have an agent, if you don't, whatever. Your headshots, you want to pop something in there. Resume, if you want to fill that stuff out, great. Special skills, you definitely want to fill this out. Now, special skills is like the ultimate map of who you are in your abilities, your skills and abilities. So you have everything here. Okay, we're looking at improv comedy. We're looking at acting genres. So even under each of these, it has, how do you rank it? So A is a beginner, B is intermediate, C is advanced. You're going to go in on all of the things that you have even remotely close to touched and rank yourself, like your ability, right? Advanced is, in my opinion, if I'm thinking in the world of sports, advanced is going to be like if you played any level of college and beyond. And that could be community college, even whatever, like the lowest level college and above. I would say, okay, you are advanced. Intermediate, if you did this good couple of years, you got a few years under your belt, that sort of thing, and you go advanced and whatever. But you have everything here. Athletic, you have the general, which look at how many different things are on here. So you want to go in and rank yourself in everything that you've ever touched on any level. And this is kind of weird. I'm realizing I'm going through my profile right here, and it's like, oh, do you guys want to know everything about me? Well, here it is. It's going public. But everything on here, your driving skills, can you 4x4, helicopter, airplane, horseback riding, your licenses, different. You literally have all these things, and you want to fill all of it out because this is how you get found. When somebody wants to book somebody who is an intermediate skilled chef, they're not going to see my profile pop up because I don't have anything on here, not even beginner on here, right? If you are an intermediately skilled chef, you would pop up on their radar. This is why you want to fill everything out in here that you've ever touched. So go through this, do everything. It takes some time, but trust me, this is where everything pops up for you. This is where all of the jobs will come to you. For those folks who have some little kryptonite in your life, you've been blessed with a bigger challenge than other people for whatever that may be. This next part is for you. We go to lifestyle. Now, before I get into this, I want you to realize, if you don't realize it by now, anything you've ever seen on TV or in an ad, an advertisement or anything like that, anything you've ever seen, it has come from somebody that said, hey, we have this project and we have a need for somebody that has these attributes about them to fill this role. If they weren't repeatedly looking for certain things, it's not going to be on a casting site. All right. It's just not. This is where you see we're looking for these details about people. So you go down, okay, are you tattooed? Is it visible? Or do you have one or multiple? Not visible, whatever. Piercing. Are you willing to do any of these? Cut your hair, drag queen, kissing scene, simulated sex scene, nudity, kissing scene with same sex. You literally go through all this stuff, fill it out, whatever you want to do, and then look at this. The folks that have disabilities, right? Right here, disabilities. You can literally check all that apply here and you will pop up for every job that you fit that criteria for. If they're looking for somebody who is mute, boom, you want to check that for yourself. If they're looking for a wheelchair user and maybe a wheelchair user who is a double amputee, you check those and now you pop up on their feed when they're looking for you, for somebody like you for the role. And you have that shot at getting booked for this thing on a paid gig. Who knows where? Let's talk about that aspect of these casting sites. Again, go through all this stuff. So everything here, facial hair, complexion, all this stuff, your wardrobe, fill this out to whatever you are comfortable with. Whatever you, if you were to say, oh, modeling, I'll do anything. I'll do any of these. Just check all. If for me, I have commercial fitness, hand, and runway, right? Plus size, I don't qualify as. Well, I guess, I might scoot in there for like big and tall, but realistically, I wouldn't fit in that. But you check all the ones that you're comfortable doing and that you want to do. Even if you're comfortable with it, you might not want to do it, right? I would be totally comfortable going and doing feet modeling, but that's just not something I want to do. So I don't even have that checked. Check it out, fill it in however you want for yourself. All right. There is space for everybody here. I can't emphasize this enough, man. And this is something that has frustrated me for years about this industry. And that's why I'm so excited to be building this school community and get this information in front of you so that you can go, huh? I work with a lot of folks with High Fives Foundation. High Fives Foundation, so this is a side note, amazing, amazing foundation that it takes people whose lives have been changed. Maybe you were fully able-bodied and then you had a massive accident or injury or something like that that changed your life. You lost a limb or you ended up disabled one way or another. High Fives is like the savior of a community, of an organization, to get you back to living your life into athletics and sports and adaptive equipment. And basically, it's just adapt and destroy. And that's what this is all about. We are here to adapt and destroy. So all of these things, it doesn't matter where you fall in, it is your strength. It is your superpower. It's your unique thing. Get rid of that old story of, oh, this is holding me back, this disability. It's like, no, 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 no. You need this ability right now for this job. Okay. Now, let's move on. The links right here, This is, again, if you upgraded, you could upload some links to things. Media, same thing. This is where you would go, oh, I have a highlight reel, or, your acting reel, or you make a little sizzle reel of your modeling, whatever it is. This is where you'd be able to upload more media and things like that. Now, notifications, this is where direct submit board emails. This is the notification center on here. You want to make sure that you have control of this. Remember this, because I remember when I first set up the casting site for myself, I was so excited. Like, man, hopefully I get an email. Like, man, hopefully something comes my way. Hopefully something comes my way. And within 72 hours, I was bombarded by emails. And the reason is, again, because you might fit closely to a job. And depending on how you set your profile up, you might be set up across all of the United States and into Canada. Or you could set up as small as, like, oh, just San Francisco or just Los Angeles area. It kind of varies that way. So a couple days later, I'm thinking, oh, please, please, please send me an email. And I'm like, please stop sending me emails. So you want to be, just play with it, get used to whatever notification level you want. And then you can see the types of emails and everything that you get sent. And I have this stuff like, don't send me emails. For me, it's different because, again, I have agency representation. So I'm like, you handle that. Just send me whatever the good stuff is that hits my criteria, and we can get into that in another video, which I touched on in the negotiating your rates video a little bit. But we'll have some more on when to receive the emails from your representation and when not, like what levels you want to receive, that sort of thing, because you can set those. Bookouts, this is where you would go if you say, oh, okay, I'm going on family vacation for 2 weeks and I don't want to be available to anybody or anything like that. That is the brief rundown, everything that you should need to get started with a casting network or several casting networks. And like I said in the start of this video, a single photo can get you booked. A single one. You literally have the power of the casting site. It's not as important with the headshot when they're looking for certain attributes for a shoot. If they're looking for that double amputee wheelchair user, kind of less important that you look this way or that way, right? Like, they have the criteria for that specific ability or disability that they're going to plug in for the role. If you fall in there, you're going to be put into that filter for them to funnel out, and that's great. If it's kind of like a wide thing, or they need someone that looks so specific, they look this stunning in what way or another, then maybe that's where the headshot really, really matters. And again, you still eventually want to have a high quality professional headshot, but look at that thumbs up. But you want to make sure you fill this out as in depth as possible to give yourself the best shot at getting your bookings, at getting booked for a job that could potentially be a national car commercial that could pay you for one day's work. It could pay you 60, 70, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000 plus dollars for one day's work. And they could pay you over the course of 2 years, 3 years, however long they run the spot, right? And sometimes those same exact spots, if they don't run them, you might make, $1,000 or something like that, which, not something to, as my friend as my friend Amber, spectacular hair makeup artist in the industry, as her grampy would say, it's better than a poke in the eye. Amber, if you ever see this, I love you, I miss you, I appreciate you deeply, and big love to your family. All right, moving on. So now we have the casting network set up. We have our profile set up. You picked whether you wanted to go just local casting site or casting network just in your specific area, or if you want to go national or US into Canada or international, whatever it may be. If you are doing just local, that's typically going to be, it's going to limit you for the work, for the options, obviously, right? You narrow down the space for which you are shown on the site. So if you do national, then jobs that shoot on the other side of the country that you might be a fit for, they'll come into your inbox. They'll be right there and say, hey, you interested? Do you want to audition? That sort of thing. So if you're not willing to travel, you don't want to travel, keep in mind, a lot of this will be paid travel. If you book if they want to book you across country, you can negotiate, oh yeah, I want to pay travel, or they might just have it included automatically and be like, yeah, we're looking for talent anywhere across the country. We will pay for travel, for your lodging, for, rental car, whatever. So those are all accessible for you. And especially, side note to this, especially to like wheelchair users or folks with disabilities, a physical disability, a mental disability. This is it's not finessing or taking advantage of anybody. This is the time where you would say, just be taken care of. Like for once, it's a bit more challenging for me to get from A to B than it is for everybody else that you might cast for this thing. And it would be really helpful if I could get some assistance with this or that, or, hotel booking with an adaptive room, things like that. You want to have those conversations, especially when they book you. And I would, by the way, I would have that conversation before you sign the agreement, before you sign the contract for the job, but after they say, we want to book you, can we confirm you? So when they're like, yes, we want to book you for the job, we want to confirm you, can we do that? That's the time to say, hey, I just want to sort out some details here. Travel can be challenging. It can be this, it could be that. Like, what do we have to help out with that? That's the timing of things where you would want to have that conversation. Don't have it earlier than that, because they might just be like, bye, we're not dealing with this needy, the high maintenance talent here, so to speak. So wait until you book it. Wait until they want to confirm you to have that. Now, you literally got the walkthrough free version. You see me, I've been doing this for years. I'm literally leading these courses and everything like this because I've made a career out of this with a single photo on there. You don't have to go crazy. I would, if I were personally really hungry and didn't have agency representation, I would probably do the paid one, but literally from a single photo, you can be booking all of these things. All right. And then the regional versus national and everything like that, that's up to you. Do you want to just start out just locally? I don't want to really go play with big wigs or cross country or anything like that. Or do you want to ramp it up and just go all in? It's up to you. Now, let's get into. Let me see. We already covered this. I'm looking at my notes right now because I want to make sure I'm thorough with you guys and cover all this stuff. Okay. That's it. Imagine that. That is it. We covered everything to get started on a casting network. You can get started and be on several different casting networks. Man, I think the biggest message here is whoever has led you to believe that because you look weird, you look different than most, because you don't look like a model, and what people's idea of what a model is, because you don't look like that, and everybody's not gawking over how stunning you are. And maybe you get eyeballs whenever you go out in public and people are looking at you weird and all this stuff because you look unique. Whoever has led you to believe that you cannot model, you can't be in this world, that you don't belong here, absolutely shun them. I'm shunning them right now. Prove them wrong. Get in here. Let's get you going. Let's get you booked. That's it for now. Go set up your casting sites. If you have any questions, you need help, you know where to find us. School.com/pose to profit. Get in the community. Get the support you want. We're here to help you, to love you, grow you, and party with everything that you win at along the way. I will see you on set.